So when I'm around people who are not my family, I imagine that they are judging me and I feel uncomfortable sensations in my body. So I imagine that they are judging me. So it's not exactly strictly a presupposition, but it's good enough. Let's say I'm assuming that what I'm imagining has some kind of connection with reality. Because I could imagine, space aliens with hostile intentions coming to Earth to imprison all humans. I could imagine that. It's not a nice kind of thing to imagine, but I can imagine it, and I don't really feel any particular anything about that. It's just something I could imagine. The same as I could imagine that. I could imagine that kangaroos usually have pink polka dots. I could imagine it, but it doesn't really seem to have any connection with reality for me, as far as I'm concerned. So it's of no real concern to me. It's just something that I imagine. But when I imagine that in this scenario, if I imagine that these people who are not my family are judging me in ways that I don't like, then I'm thinking that that has some kind of connection with reality. It's not just something I'm imagining. I'm thinking that actually has some kind of connection with reality. Like that I'm able to know that they're really judging me. And that there are going to be some kind of unwanted consequences. So these are maybe some more beliefs that come out, like these people really are judging me. I'm able to know that. And them judging me will have negative consequences for me. Now, I could also go even deeper and I could say, well, what kind of person would suffer negative consequences from the judgments of these other people? In other words, like a person like me. What kind of person would suffer negative consequences? Well, probably a weak person, probably a pathetic person, a person with no value, a person who is incapable. So suddenly I'm realizing I've got all of these beliefs about myself. I'm an incapable person. I'm a weak person. So I'm uncovering all kinds of beliefs just by investigating the thing that I'm imagining, or I think I'm experiencing. And if I describe this to somebody else, then I start to discover through the presuppositions the beliefs that I'm holding. Now I can even go another layer, and I can say, well, what kind of universe would I have to exist in order for that to be true? Like, what kind of universe would allow for such a thing? I'm just making this up. I'm not saying this is not by any means universal. I'm just giving an example just so you can understand how this might work. But maybe I'd say, well, it would have to be a universe that is either hostile or uncaring toward individuals, or at least uncaring or hostile toward me, that would allow me to exist in such a scenario where other people are going to judge me and I'm weak and incapable and therefore will be harmed by their judgments. You see how this works? Now, that's just scratching the surface. So all kinds of stuff is there, and I can discover what those beliefs are just by examining the experience that I think I'm having. And what would have to be true in order for that experience to be true? What kind of person would I have to be in order to have that experience? What kind of universe would I have to exist in order for me to have that experience? What would have to be true in order for me to have the experience that I claim that I'm having? I mean, obviously, other people in that scenario, other people have the power and I am powerless, right? Other people's judgments are more powerful than I am. My value is determined entirely by other people. It would have to be true, or at least predominantly by other people. So these are beliefs that I'm holding. I'm believing all of these things.